So unfortunately, things are a little slow on my channel at the moment. If you've been following along on social media, you might know that I've been living in my property for a while now, and we were contracted with an appalling company called PlusNet, who were absolutely abysmal. I mean, talk about the worst customer service in the world. I honestly think it was so bad. So I'm still without internet, so I'm not sure when you'll see this. However, if you're looking for a new internet provider, don't use PlusNet. Hi everyone, I'm here today to talk about two different books that I have read. I haven't read a lot recently because I've been moving house and having a bit of a drama. So I've only read two books recently. And they're two very, very different books. So the two books that I'm going to talk about in this video are The Couple by Helly Acton and also Pine by Francine Toon. Two very different books. Let's get going. The first book that I'm going to talk to you about is The Couple, and this is by Helly Acton, who wrote The Shelf, which I read and absolutely loved last year. Really enjoyed it. And so I was very excited to find out that she had a new book coming out. And this is released on the 27th of May. Yes, the 27th of May, so very soon. And so I just thought I'd bring you the review now before it comes out so you can get it on your radar, maybe pre-order it if it sounds like your sort of thing. And very obviously this is a proof copy, so this was sent to me for review, but I mean, we all know that doesn't affect how I review things, you know, disclaimer. However, I really did enjoy this one. This follows the story of Millie. Now, Millie is a perfectionist and she is in a slightly alternative reality. So it is our world with all of our sort of pop culture references and all of the things that we know. However, in this sort of slightly twisted version of reality, being in a couple is not seen as the norm. Being in a couple is seen as a little bit out there. People are sort of judged for being in a couple. People are taxed differently if they're in a couple, and people generally look down on someone if they announce that they have coupled up with someone. And so in a world of being single, the whole sort of social interaction between you and sort of a person of the opposite sex that isn't your friend is through online apps. And basically you meet up, you have an encounter that lasts the evening, you don't go on any dates, you don't do any of that. You have an encounter to meet your sort of basic human needs, shall we say, and then you move on and you continue your life as a single person, hanging out with your friends and just living your best life. Now, Millie is fully content in this world. She's a high flyer in a field. She works for a company called Slide, and Slide is the sort of #1 app that allows people to do these meetups where they can slide and be together for an evening, and then they can rate each other like TripAdvisor. And so people in this alternate universe are sort of concerned with their star rating. Depending on how you rate, it's obviously going to sort of depend on the type of partner that you're going to match with for the evening. People will discuss their rating openly with their friends and have a conversation about where they're sitting on the star rating. Firstly, I found that quite fun. I really enjoyed looking into this world from the outside as a person who has been coupled up for longer than oh my god, I've just realised, yeah, I've been with my partner now for longer of my life than I hadn't been with him. I'm really old. Looking at this as a person who's been coupled up for a long, long time, I really enjoyed looking at how things would be if being in a couple was counted as really weird and we had star ratings instead, and just what life would be like. So like I say, Millie is really up there in the Slide company and she's doing very well. And for a new campaign, they bring in someone from the Cardiff office called Ben, and she has to partner up with him and come up with some sort of advertising techniques for a new pill that is hitting the market. And this pill basically just kills your desire to be in a relationship. It stops romantic love from being able to form. So this pill's like a 2-week course. You take one and then 2 weeks later you take the second one and you'll never feel romantic love again. It also stops you feeling heartache. So if you've been in a couple that didn't end very well and you're suffering the heartache or rejection or any of that, it mends your broken heart because it takes away any of those feelings. But what it doesn't do is mess with platonic love, so you can still feel love for your friends. It doesn't mess with motherly love, so you'll still feel love for your children, but what you won't feel is any sort of urge or any romantic love and basically stop you from being in a couple. However, the plot seriously thickens when Millie and Ben have a connection. And it's not a connection that Millie's ever felt before with anyone else. Ben seems to feel the same sort of connection. She has to decide whether she's going to continue to work on this pill, whether she's going to continue on with this life that she's worked so hard for, and for her life plan that she has really worked for her entire life. Whether she's going to throw it all away and go against everything that she believes in and everything that she's worked for to be with Ben. And I loved the journey of this book. It made me laugh so much. There are some genuine laugh out loud, snort laugh moments through this. I really enjoyed Ben's character. He is the sort of witty, funny man that you would enjoy having as a friend. And there was something about this book that just really touched me, and I really, really enjoyed it. So if this sounds like your sort of thing, I would definitely recommend pre-ordering it. And I'm obviously not just saying that because I was sent this for review, because I'm sent plenty of books for review and some of them are just, but this one really good. The next book that I've got, I had such high hopes for, and it just let me down, and that is Pine. Now, I don't know if any of you remember, because I bought this a while ago. I bought this before COVID. I've been holding on to this for quite some time, but I travelled all the way to Edinburgh to get it from where I was living in the Borders at the time, because I really wanted this sprayed edge version from Waterstones, and it was signed as well. Yeah, so I'm going to hold on to this even though I didn't enjoy it, just purely for the fact of I went to get it because it was so special. But this is basically set in the Highlands of Scotland, and we have a case of some missing girls, and the storyline follows Lauren and her dad Niall, and they live alone in a little cottage in the middle of nowhere, and the cottage is falling apart, and Lauren's mum is absent, and creepy things begin to occur. So we open on a Halloween night where Lauren has been to a Halloween party and Niall is driving her home, and they see a woman step out in front of the road in the middle of nowhere in just a dressing gown, and so they instantly stop the car, take her home, try to look after her. She's a bit weird, and then the next morning she's completely disappeared. And what follows is a sort of series of absolutely nothing. So let's talk about what I did like about it. First of all, I liked the Highland setting. I liked the Scots language in it. There's quite a lot of Scots language in here, and if you're not familiar with Scots language, you might find it hard to follow along with some of the conversations in this book, but I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed it. However, the rest of it was just, it felt like it was trying to be a little bit too clever for what it was. We had a lot of descriptive setting up, which, I mean, I do love a good descriptive read, don't get me wrong. I love it when a book will set the scene and take ages setting the scene. I mean, I read Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and that just spends ages setting a scene, and I loved it. It drew me in. But this kind of made me roll my eyes a bit. The book made me feel empty. The way it's written just made me feel depressed and a bit grubby. I felt like I needed a shower. I don't even know why. Nothing happened, but I just felt dirty reading this. I don't know why. It just left me feeling unclean, unhappy, and it was boring. It really was. It went along for absolutely ages, stringing along, potentially making you think that something's going to happen, and then you pass the 100-page mark and you think soon something might happen. You pass the 200-page mark and you think soon something might happen, and then you pass the 300-page mark and nothing has happened, and then 35 pages later it's over and you just wonder what the hell. Just I didn't really enjoy this one. There you go. As I said, two very different book reviews. One I really loved, one I don't know why I wasted my time, and as usual, I'd love to know if you've read any of them. I'd love to know if you're going to, and I will speak to you all soon, hopefully, if I get the internet. Bye for now.